everyone.
My name is Rizky Simon Herwawan.
And I'm Hasina Sanamoki.
And I, Robert Elvis Montesi.
In this video, we are going to explain about American culture and Tanimbar culture. So, without wasting any more time, let's start with the first explanation, which is American culture. Okay, now I'm going to explain a little bit about American history. America is a United States, so America has many states. At first, America had 13 states, but American grew, and now America has 50 states, with Washington DC as its capital. Therefore, the 13 red and white stripes on the American flag are the representation of first states of America, and the 50 stars on the American flag are the representation of 50 states that exist today. Next is the American dress. Actually, the Native American are Indian tribes, but many other cultures have entered America, so there are no clothes that truly symbolize America. But in general, it is known that cowboy clothes are usually worn by Americans. Cowboy clothing itself consists of cowboy hat, jeans jacket, bandanas, and boots made of animal skins. And there are also American fashion in 1920s, namely suits for men and dress for women. Okay, now as you can see here, this is the picture of Liberty. This is the pride of America. The Statue of Liberty symbolizes the freedom of American people. Okay, now I'm going to explain about do's and don'ts in America. So we know that in America and Indonesia, there are so many differences between American and Indonesian, which is the culture and everything is different. So when we go to the America, we should know that what things that we can do and what things that we cannot do in American. So first, let's talk about do's or things that we can do in American. The first one is be open and proud about your success. In American, people really open about themselves. So if you have achievement, if you success, then it's okay to be proud of yourself. And next is take initiative to be forthcoming and open about yourself when you can, and be straightforward and direct about your meanings or intention. I mean like low context communication. So people in American, they don't talk too much. When they want to say something, and they just tell the point, straight to the point, what they want to tell you. And then offer any criticism in a way that emphasizes the person's strength and highlight ways they could easily improve. So if you give a critique to the other people that can make that people to be better, then it's okay to give the critique. And now things that you cannot do or don'ts in American. The first one is avoid talking about sensitive or private matters such as religion or relationships or appearance and human rights and so on. And then avoid criticizing the American country, culture or patriotism. Because when you go to the American, you are the visitors, you are tourists, so it is impolite if you criticizing the American culture and patriotism. And the next one is do not make racial slurs and avoid discussing racial divisions because it is really offensive. And the next one is avoid exaggeration and sensationalism of a particular event or subculture to be reflective of all Americans, because in American there are so many cultures there. There are Japan, China, and so on. So you cannot take one culture to be the symbolize of America.
Okay, now I'm going to explain about communication or body language in Americans. Point 1, direct communication or low context communication. Americans are typical direct communicators, speaking honestly, clearly, and explicitly to get to the point, or rather they prefer to talk about things directly openly. This is not meant to be rude or ignore important things in communicating. Second point, questions. Americans are generally comfortable with asking questions if something is not clear to them. If you don't ask any questions, it's assumed that you understand everything. Third point, informality. Americans are generally informal in their communication, using first names and slang with people they do not very well. However, this varies across social contexts, for example, professional settings. Those from rural or southern areas may be more informal, using titles such as Mr. or Mrs. Fourth point, eye contact. Americans tend to maintain direct eye contact with the person they are talking to. It denotes warmth, openness, honesty, and approachability. And last point, physical contact. Americans are generally comfortable with public physical affection and contact between friends and family. It is common and acceptable for men and women to hug in a casual setting.
So now I'm going to explain the most important value that can be taken from America. Americans are independent, they take care of themselves and have the freedom to pursue their own definition. For example, at a young age, they do not live with their parents but prefer to live alone with the fruits of their labor, or in student life that they have the right to choose a major with what they like the most. Besides that, Americans are very disciplined. They value time as a resource and money, so they are never late. If you are late, you can be considered impolite and do not value time, so be on time. In Tanimbar, there is a statue called the statue of Nenek Resirena. This statue is a symbol of the history of the fight over land rights and other type of rights between Lambesar and Kilyobar was successfully united through the sacrifice of Nenek Resirena with a short moral message, Isa dek not sian Isa, which means one with other do not hurt each other. Now I'm going to explain about do's and don'ts in Tanimbar. The first one, there is an association or movement of mother on saving and loans. They create vegetable garden program which is meant as a law for the environment. Communities in Tanimbar Kaliobar flock to cultivate seaweed. There is always mutual cooperation in cleaning their environment with our residents. Thus, don't go to places like SBU. SBU is a scarred place because there are schools of the censors, so they are not allowed to say dirty or harsh words because you will be disturbed by censors. The second, you can promise the return to your village but don't leave because that person will get into trouble and the treatment. 3. If you open an umbrella in the house, that means you went to your house to be destroyed, but actually your umbrella will interfere with other families to enter because it's maybe a narrow place. And then, do not eat in the front of the door because the door is a place to exit for facing demons, but actually for people. Do not sit on the table and on the pillow because your ass will boil. Do not buy salt, nails, needles at night because it is called pamali. Satan will be around you. Do not drop a glass because a broken glass will bring bad news. Maybe someone close to your family will die.
Now I'm going to explain about communication or body language in Tanimbar. First point, shaking head. In the Tanimbar tribe, often when someone else is speaking, someone shakes their head as if the person doesn't agree and feels challenged by what other people might say to him. Second point, thumb over shoulder is like a symbol, like this. If this thumb finger is over the shoulder and hitting backwards, it means that the attention of the person is looking back, or there is something that might happen that the person wants to convey. So the most important value that we can take from the Tanimbar culture is togetherness. The Tanimbar people uphold togetherness in solving problems such as dudu adat, and they also always work together, or mutual cooperation in carrying out daily work. So maybe that's it from the most important value.
Okay, and in this last explanation, I'm going to explain about benefits that we can get by studying other cultures in intercultural communication. So, through intercultural communication, we can understand other people's cultures, respect each other, and adopt positive values that can lead us to the better person. In addition, learning other cultures allow us to communicate well with people who are culturally different from us. So that's all of our presentation in this video. Thanks for your attention. Bye.